Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and I wanted to take a minute to show you how to digitize your worksheet in PowerPoint. I did the Google Slides one before, and this one is going to be for PowerPoint users. Full disclosure, I don't use PowerPoint very often, but I know a number of you do, and I want to make sure that you can see it in both formats. I will tell you this. We're on presentation 7 right now because I've done this a few times, and it's faster for me to do it in slides. It may be faster for you to do it over here. Pick the one that works for you, but this is the general idea. And the first thing we need to do is we need to resize this because it's the wrong size. And we also need to get rid of the text boxes, and we need to set the background. So we can do this a number of ways. Let's do this first because it's on this slide. And we went to layout, and we're going to click blank. We don't need any text boxes. And then we want to change the size. And so it's over here in view, I want to say. No. Design. Yeah. Here's the format, background, and the slide size. We want to do the slide size first, and that is custom slide size. And this is the size of a piece of paper. So it's 8.5 by 11. And I'm going to click on the Ensure Fit one. I have not picked the other one before, so go wild if you want to. It looks like a piece of paper now, which is good because we're working with this document, which is also the size of a piece of paper. I used to use it as a piece of paper once upon a time. We're going to go to slide size next, and we're going to go to custom slide size. And I just did that. We're going to go to format background. I'm not starting over again. And picture from file. It's good for you to see if this is a struggle sometimes. Go to choose file, and there's my ping. It's nice to double check here to see if it's your ping. Also, JPEGs work as well, and we did that in the first video. And there it is. And so it should look like this. And now it looks like this. It's pretty good. I'm going to zoom in on this just a little bit. That's in view. I used to teach Microsoft, and I've been away from it for a long time. So it's a good exercise to see if you can get back and forth in it. So once you're here, now we want the kids to be able to type right on it. And this is a background now. You can't move it. Kids can't type on it, but we need to put text boxes in, and they can only type on the text boxes, and this will keep your worksheet a lot crisper. So let's go to insert, and we're going to go to text box. And one of the things that I've noticed in the process of doing this is that first, Microsoft makes your text box for you. You don't draw it yourself, but also you don't get that customization either that you do over in Google Slides. At the end of the day, the product will work the same. I'm going to make this a little less wide. Of course, now it's not wide enough. There we go. And to move your text box, you need the crosshairs with the arrow. Otherwise, you will click into it instead of on it. And it's very hard to see where I'm going right now because this is transparent. So we actually want to put a border and a fill in this text box, so it's super easy to find for the students. I'm going to leave click to add text here for a minute, but then I'm going to get rid of it before we go on. So the fill color here, I'm going to keep it super boring, and we're going to do a lovely gray, something that might look like it naturally occurred on this worksheet if it had originated online. And then I want to put a border on it. And I want to go to weight, and I want to go to 1 point. And I want to go to color as well. So I'm going to do it in black. It looks okay. Now I want to change the text color. So I'm actually going to get rid of all that text. And we're just going to come up here to change font color. It's easier to read if you put it in a darker color that's not black. So like a dark green or dark orange, but I like dark red. If you have philosophical issues with red, I understand. Also, we need to decrease the size of this font, otherwise it's going to get real big real fast. So let's change it to, I want to see it at maybe 12. It's pretty small, but I'm also going to encourage you to change the font to something with serifs. The text there is a sans serif font. And if you don't know what that is, I highly recommend that you go look it up. It's SERIF. And it's just so that the text is varied and doesn't look exactly like. You can read that just fine. Ideally, I might even lighten up that gray before it's over. You can see the text box has definition, and a kid would know immediately to go there. I'm going to move it up just a hair. And then I'm going to get rid of all of the text in here, and I'm going to click out of it, because if you can still see this cursor, it's not going to work. You want to click out, and then you want to right click. You see, I still didn't get it. You want to right click. There you go. You want it to copy. It makes me crazy. It's just a little fudgy. So I just copied it, and now I'm going to paste it. I press Control and the letter V for victory, to paste. You can also right click and paste. I'm going to make 7 more of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you're just going to take them and drag them to each of their respective boxes. This is where these small little text boxes actually benefit you, as opposed to being able to customize the size, because it doesn't matter what size they are. They all start out as the same. Since you copied them from the first one, they're all formatted with red text now, and the right size text and the font that we chose. And so you don't have to keep going back and changing that over and over and over again. And I'm going to have to try a couple of them down like this. So you can put them anywhere. They'll be there waiting for you. And 8. Thank you for being patient with me. And so we have a not so precious worksheet. Part B, you could do this a number of ways. Ideally, I would put in a table, but I'm just going to tell you right now, tables and I do not get along in PowerPoint. There is a lack of formatting that I am aware of how to do, to be perfectly honest. So when I made this in Google Slides, I made all of the text boxes bigger because you can draw them to the exact size there, and they'll stay. And then I made tables. I love tables for questions and answers because you can format it and shade it, and so a kid knows they got to write the Sacco and Vanzetti one here, and they got to do John Lewis here. So I have not found a way to put the table I want to in PowerPoint. And, you can always message me if you have a good way to do that. But a 1x4 table did not work in this. So I'm going to do the next thing, which is I'm just going to add a new slide. And pick one that meets your needs. Honestly, title and content will work beautifully. And my phone is going off. Apologies. I'm going to align text so it goes up to the top. So we have answer part B below. And I'll probably just clip this up because I don't like it when it's not the right size. You, again, do not have to be precious with this. The whole point of doing it like this is to save time. And boom. Okay. So you might even want to put a text box here. We can do that one more time, to tell kids answer on slide 2. I'm not going to put it in right now, but you know how to do that now. The other thing I like to do is I like to link the textbook page. And so that's one more text box. And we're going to go to insert, and we're going to go to text box, maybe. And it's there. I went to go draw it again because that's where I usually do it. I like to put them right up here at the top, and I like to pick a color that we haven't worked with yet. So click here, and we're going to make that fit on the page, maybe. Perfect. And let's go ahead and fill it in with, how about a medium orange? That works. And we're going to put an outline on it. That's weight is 1, and I want to make it black. That's okay. I might move it around just a hair like that. And the kids don't put their name on it because in Schoology it doesn't. You don't have to do that. But I'm highlighting here because I want to go find the textbook page that this goes with. We're going to pretend that this is it. This is actually not the right one, but for the sake of time, I'm going to just do it. This is an online textbook that we tend to use. And here is the presentation, and here is insert hyperlink. You can also right click for that and paste it there. I used Control V as in Victor, insert. And now a kid who comes to fill this out will know exactly where the textbook page is, assuming it's linked properly, and there's a place to type all of this. You can even leave them little boxes that say start typing here, or you can put arrows in. The sky's the limit. And part B, again, put a text box in there if you want to. This would be a great way to also use your video options, both Flipgrid or even for them to insert a video here of them talking about the answers to part B. Use the format differently than you would if they were going to put it on paper. My favorite thing about this is when I go to read it and give them feedback, I can use the comment feature and I can click all over this and encourage them to go do the next thing, or use this. This is a good argument. Use this in your paper, that kind of thing. So I hope that was helpful. Yell at me if you need me. Thank you so much for coming. Bye.